leaving early, a little bit earlier. So, 59. Was it about 8:40 when I left, I think? Let me see here. Usually they've really... The place is completely dark, there's no one there, and he's creeping up the thing. I'll just show you from here. So the Dairy Queen's closed, you can see where this person is. I'll just show you from here. As soon as I start walking, he's creeping up to the street. The guy who's at the closed Dairy Queen with the lights off there. So we'll just cross here. Just pacing back and forth in the park driveway of a store that's closed. And I'll show you from here. And as soon as I'm coming up there, he's creeping out to the street. Here's a one headlight car. Gatineau police allowing them to break the law at night, encouraging them to break the law. See where that guy is? Just pacing back and forth in the Dairy Queen parking lot. Okay. Yeah, so that's the police encouraging people to turn one headlight off. It's far more important that they sensitize you to this these neuro-linguistic programming aspects and this sensitization stuff than it is to keep people safe on the road at night. You know, if the other headlight, it seems minor, it seems trivial, but if the other headlights should give out, that can be a serious issue at nighttime. But they don't care about that. It's far more important that they terrorize people in this manner, so that takes precedent over upholding any laws under community policing. A service which has been, a system which has been implemented without the consent of the public, i.e. forced upon them, without any democratic process or any vote, just imposed upon them. In Canada, in the US, in all the Five Eyes countries, and in various areas around the world. And on that side there, this person's probably, yeah, he's gonna come across here, probably. So this is Tom, just waiting to see if he's gonna come across here. I'm guessing he's gonna go into the store, he's gonna time his entry to the store as I come across here, so I'll just wait that time here for tonight. So he's waiting on that side. You saw the other guy in the Dairy Queen parking lot, just with complete darkness in the parking lot, and he's just pacing back and forth with no one there. Where's he gonna go? Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Looks like we got a full moon tonight too, as you can see there. Yeah, notice on that? So he's waiting for me to cross on that side of the street, seeing that I'm going to the store. Looks over at me, so let's let him go in and do his act first. See the moon there, full moon. Looks to be full anyway. Hopefully the glasses are picking that up. It's quite a bit milder now. Some of the snow's starting to melt here, finally. So, yeah, he was positioned waiting there. So, just like the guy who was in the Dairy Queen just a few houses away from where I live. Now we're gonna get more people pulling in here. Maybe we'll get the police here. Let's see. Just observe from here. Oh no, so notice this, as I come out here, I'm just gonna go down here. Sorry, from this vantage point, as soon as I come out, he's going over there to stand in the place where I was. I think this is that guy that I had that other morning when I was here early. So as soon as I come out, he's got to go out there and stand there as well and stare out at the parking lot. got a karate place here. Here. And yeah, that's the guy I think they had that other time they were standing out there. Alright, so let's just see the moon from here. And he's pretty much in the position close to where I was too. It's just an act he's been on. I'm not going to stay here for very long. I'm going to get going soon though. Get moving on soon. Nothing much going on here really, other than him standing there. Let's see. I'm going to take this route here. I wonder what this goes to. Side street around. Yeah, I've never really walked down there. Let's go take a look, I guess. Got a bit of time. Oh yeah, it just leads up to a side street. I gotta watch here though for eyes. It's kind of slippery with a lot of black ice here. So let's see what we get here. A bunch of people coming outside probably as I walk down here. Never been down this side street before. But let's see, I can't tell if that guy went in. He probably went in now. It's kind of slippery here. Gotta be careful here. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. Not much of a sidewalk here. Yeah, with regards to these glasses, I say these are the best ones at nighttime for the footage. It comes out pretty clear at night. Only downside is the files are pretty big, but if you compress them, they're not right away. As we can see there, right away. If you compress them, they're not as large. So immediately appears as soon as I'm about to turn down there. Right away. Let's wait on this side, see if this person's following or what. I do have my phone tonight. Going down that way. I do have my phone with me tonight, so yeah, it's icy basically, and it's pretty dark, so I'm gonna watch here. Just gonna head up to this side here. There's not really any sidewalks, so never been down this street before. Okay, yeah. So that takes you down the other way. Let's see how icy it is here. Alright, they got a bunch of cars parked in here, looks like, in the music conservatory place there. Let's move along down here. Pulling in right where I live there, as you can see there. Or in front, rather, up in front of where I live there. Now watch what'll happen. They'll get out and they'll start staring across at me accusatorily for walking. Okay, that's where I live there, where that car just pulled up in front of, right on cue. Unfortunately, I'm carrying a phone tonight, and you can see here too. Check this out here. And then, yeah, that's right in front. So as I walk down there, they'll probably, the plan is that person will get out of the car. That's one of the people who lives where I live. And it's probably to have them get out just as I come down there to the corner. I'm not going back across. I was going to go up this way. I just want to show you this too. This person's just sitting here in an empty parking lot. It's a surveillance role player here. Watch this here. Watch how this place is going to pick up if I just stand here. I just want to show you this. Watch how it's going to pick up. Now the person in that white car hasn't gotten out yet, as you can see. That's the place where I live there. I live around, well, the area where I live is around the right side. So I don't know which one person this is. Somebody who lives upstairs maybe. But as you can see, they're just sitting in the car. They haven't gotten out. And here. Everything's nothing open here. So they have the watch on here. That's supposed to be, what they're going to do there is when I get up to the street, that person will most likely just do an act where they get out of the car and go in. As you can see now, they pulled up in front of the place where I live and they're just sitting there, and this car here just drives up here at, what time is it now? It's about 9 p.m. No one there, and just sits in an empty parking lot here. As you saw, the guy at the Dairy Queen is just pacing back and forth in a completely dark and empty parking lot there, over there, just to the left. Actually, I'm going to get my body camera out here. Just pull this one out here. It's on the side. Here, this person will contact the police too, you'll see. They'll start driving by, probably. So we'll see how long it takes before they get here. Another one here. Another car pulled up here on the side now. And then down here, one headlight car coming down. At night, driving at night with one headlight off, breaking the law. That's the second one we've seen since I've exited the house there. And the person who's pulled up in front of the house where I live is still just sitting there in the vehicle. So I just want to get this body cam on the other one here. It's down here. Still no movement from the white car that pulled up in front of where I live there. He's just sitting there. He just drove up in front of the house to sit in the car. And this person here has also just come out to the parking lot to just sit in the car in darkness at an empty parking lot. And then as we already saw, we had our person at Dairy Queen pacing back and forth in an empty parking lot as well. This is the stuff they set up as I leave for work each night, CSIS. And the wonderful people who they use to do these things. One prerequisite is that you have a very low IQ and no conscience whatsoever. No capacity to think or question anything. Those are some of the prerequisites. So what we're going to do is turn on the camera now. And the body cam here. And I might switch to the other glasses because some footage here. Oh, one thing's stuck. So the car that pulled up in front, as you can see, is still there with the lights on. Hasn't moved. And watch this side here. So they're going to start sending people, or they'll start sending cars down here. I'm just standing here on the sidewalk here. So just for the body camera, continuing the footage here. I came around from here when I went over to the store. First, when I exited, they had a guy in the Dairy Queen parking lot coming up to creepily walk up close to me when I came up to the street. So I crossed over, went the other way. He was just pacing back and forth in a completely dark parking lot. And now as I came all the way around here, you could see the white car across the street there. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Pulled up in front of the house where I live. I don't have to go back there. I was just going to come around and go out the other way. And the person has not exited the vehicle yet. They've just pulled up to sit there to do watch because I've come back around. And then as I came around here on the side street here to come out, there's this vehicle here just sitting here in the parking lot here. So CSIS people here. As I leave for work. This is the same thing that I go through. I've gone through for close to 5 years now. Now the person in front of the house there still hasn't gotten out. This person here hasn't gotten out. Both of them have just gotten in, driven up in their vehicles to sit here doing fake surveillance, as you can see. So I'm going to switch to the other glasses now because these ones, take up a lot of space for the files, so I'm going to switch over to those other ones and see how long it takes before we start to get a lot of activity down here. Now, I just want you to see this now, just so you see. There's nobody here, right? All quiet when I came around from that side street there. Okay, now I'm switching the glasses to the other ones. Down here, traffic's picking up. The car in front of the house where I live still hasn't moved. Nobody's gotten out of it yet. And second one now suddenly pulling into. This is just. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna pick my bag up here. This is just to make it look like this person's. This is just an actor too. So they pulled up there too now, and then the one across the street. Okay, the door's open now on that one. Door's open on that one. So they just pulled up just to sit there for an extended period of time because they wanted to time the exit with me coming up to the street there. Because I was going to go up there and turn. I didn't have to go back to the house. Oh yeah, it's okay. Is it the person that's going in there, or is it? What is it anyway? Let's see if he goes into that unit. Yeah, I think it's the guy who. Yeah, it's okay. So it's over here. Let's say yeah. Or is there somebody in the view? No, I think maybe he just got dropped off. Seems like he just got dropped off because the lights are still on. And so, as you can see here, this person has just been sent because they messaged that I was recording. So, because the person was just sitting there alone in an empty parking lot, they've messaged this person as well to come up here and do the act also. So this is every time I leave for work. There's some stuff like this. It's not always the same, but it's are the lights off now? No, the lights are still on. So there's still somebody waiting in the car. I think they just dropped that guy in. Had him go into the house, but I don't have to go back into the house anyway, so I would be moving along to the right. Okay, so now this is pulling off. They made it look, that was done there to make it look like there was some reason for that person to be there, right? So that person pulled up next to them, did some exchange, whether they said something or whatever, and then moved along anyway. So let's want to see from this side here. I'm not going to walk up too close until that car's gone because let's just keep a watch. Now notice like exactly what I said. You saw here, right? There was no cars in the street. Now look at it. It's starting to pick up here, right? So just to add some context here, I had to switch over to these glasses because the other ones, when they record, the files are really big. They're pretty good at night. Like the picture quality is better for those other ones, but converting the files are enormous, right? So if I'm going to be recording for a little bit longer, I tend to try to use these ones. But I usually keep both pairs with me charged as I'm leaving at night. I left a little bit early tonight, so this is the usual shenanigans going on here as I leave. That's the place where I live over there, where that car is just sitting with the lights on. And they had a car sitting here with nobody in the parking lot. When he realized I was just going to stand just off at a distance and kind of record their activities, do counter surveillance, they had someone else pull up, probably said something to him or whatever, and then he pulls out. He was there for a good maybe 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. And then the car in front of the place where I live here is still not moving. So somebody got out and went in, but there's also somebody still sitting in the car now as well. Is it the guy who lives up on the right? It looks like it might be that guy who lives upstairs who they used those other times to be standing across the street when I was leaving. I think it's him who went in. But actually, no, I don't know if it is. No, it isn't him because he would have went through that other door. He would have went through that door that's up above where I enter. That's where he went in that night. So, yeah, I don't think that was him that just went in there. Anyway, whoever it is, they're still sitting in the car now in front of the place where I live. So let's just see how long they're going to put on this act for. And as I said, take a look at the road here. Suddenly pick it up just when I stand still. Immediately they flood the place with people, so that's starting to pick up now as well. But I'm just observing from down here. They'll have probably some community-based agents come wandering around as well. Yeah, see, there's a car at the end of the street just sitting there too. Further down. Not moving, as you can see at the end of the street there. And then up here. Here as well. That's why I switch on the camera. Just in case there's any issue with the glasses, so I can have the footage. Hopefully the body cam's picking that up as well. I think it should be. Well, it's getting on a little... What is it now? 9:06. Okay, yeah, I did leave early tonight. So... Left at about 8:30, between 8:35 and 8:40, I believe. There's another one coming down now. One at the end of the street is still there. And what did I say? Exactly, right? So now they're sending a bunch of people down here. It was dark. There was no one here. And you'll notice right away now they're sending a bunch of people. This is just from me standing here. So I want to show you this. Exact same thing everywhere I moved to. So I'm just standing here to record that because that vehicle's pulled up in front of my house. They let some guy go in, but the vehicle's been told just to stay there and idle there in front of the house where I live. Like I said, as soon as I come over here, and then I noticed the car that was just idling there as well, doing fake surveillance. As I come down here, again, like I said, there's nobody here, and suddenly the act goes on. Look at this right now, right? So they're all going over here just to stand here at this area, all coming out now. Watch. Okay. It's all just the act here. They have to go and stand around you wherever you are, and right away the police, they have the alert on their phone to go, and it's meant to look like they're just having some fucking fake meeting. The fake smoke thing is going on too, right? So they have to go and stand behind me here, and this is the vehicle here up in front of exactly what I predicted. Like I told you, when I came down the street, you saw there was absolutely nobody here. Now suddenly it's picking up, and there's a bunch of people coming out there, just all three of them to come out and stand here smoking, putting on an act here. So the person in front of the house is still there, hasn't moved at all. Someone went in, but there's still somebody just sitting in the car. No, right there. I'm going to show you from here, and then down here. Everyone's just gathering around to stand there smoking when there's nobody there. And look at the cars down here now suddenly picking up, right? As you can see here. Now, listen. They're told to just do it in this way, where it's just that they're... What the hell are you all going to come out and gather here? There's nobody here, right? And suddenly they're all coming out. Let's all just go... And the smoke is... They use people who smoke for the plausible deniability. It's just a prop. It's the same way they use their dogs. They just exploit their dogs as props. They exploit their own children as props. So, what we got here? Well, that car's been parked in front of the house where I live for a considerable amount of time now, as you can see. And this is all just from standing still. Just moving up on, coming across to a street that was completely quiet where there was no one and standing still, and they have to keep people within your vicinity at all times, right? So there's this here, right away, there was no one. Now, another one, notice? Suddenly picking up with people here. And this is just from me standing here. There's nobody at all here. No, okay. They're trying to put on these acts. That's all the act, and then car's still in front of my house. He's just decided to spend his night parked in front of the house where I live, not moving. That's what he's going to do with his entire night, I guess. With his lights on, because the cars are paid for by CSIS, right? So the cars are taken care of, so they don't have to worry about that. They can leave the lights on for as long as they're told. They just have to follow instructions. As you can see, the road's picking up here big time. A lot more traffic since I came down here. (9/11). Go figure. 9/11, huh? 11 p.m. Now, another car. Notice how much traffic's coming down, and then did that group of actors leave? I guess, yeah, they're going back down now. Down that way. The other car, that car there has been at the end of the street pretty much since it came out a few minutes after I came down here, and it's also just come out to sit there with the lights on there, down at the end of the street there. The car in front of the house where I live is still idling with the lights on. No one getting in, no one getting out. It's a state-issued vehicle, or a CSIS vehicle, probably. They take care of the vehicles for them. They often give them fake plates as well because they know, obviously they know sometimes the people who they're doing this to are going to take down the plate numbers. So it's just, again, it's still just sitting there. The person is, and that pulled in there. As you'll notice, that car pulled in there just as I came down the street. So he pulled up there just as I came off from around that corner there. Another one here, as you can see, cars picking up big time here on the street. There's nothing when I came out around. You see how long it takes for the police to drive by. They'll probably be by here soon. Yeah, this guy's going to spend his... There's nothing weird about that, though, is there? He's going to spend his whole night pulling up in front of the house, that house where I lived there. Just sitting in the car, not getting out. Who wouldn't do something like that, right? I mean, that's a perfectly natural thing to do. And then when we had the vehicle over here, also an empty parking lot, no one there. And that person's also just going to sit in their car doing fake surveillance. And then the guy in the Dairy Queen parking lot, right as I exited, is just pacing back and forth in a completely dark parking lot where the Dairy Queen's closed and won't even be open until spring. So, that's 3 right there. You can take them for what they're worth. As you see, like I said, a flood of traffic now suddenly. Flood of traffic on this street here. Since this is just from coming over to stand here, there was nothing here. As you can see now, there's got a line of cars coming down here. All CSIS people. BMR 24P there. 2 cars with the headlights switched off as well so far. Car in front of the house where I live still hasn't moved. The person in it still hasn't gotten out. It's all important to note that a lot of the people who they use to do this are not too bright. You obviously know that by now. And that's why they use them for these operations. They just want people who are going to do what they're told without asking questions. If they do what they're told, they get their benefits from the state. If they don't, then they don't get them. So there's an incentive when you're greedy and you care only about materialism to just do what you're told, right? And you have no conscience, no sense of morality. Then all you care about is getting the material benefits from the state. Then these are the people who they choose. That's why a lot of the people from the younger generation are utilized quite readily in these things. So then when we get to Ottawa tonight, they're going to have the same type of nonsense set up there. So the person in the vehicle there has not moved still. Has not gotten out. And as you saw here, the traffic is suddenly picking up considerably here along here. Quite noticeable. Okay, the car at the end of the street's gone. Now we got another person coming down here now. So on this side here. And this side here too. Cars still idling in front of the house where I live. No movement. And down here they're also sending people, and they're sending a flood of cars on this side. The viewer obviously saw when I came down here there's no vehicles down here. So they got the flood of cars. And surveillance role players coming up here being sent just to walk around. Just to mill about the area. They just want to make you feel uncomfortable when they know you're recording to do the counter surveillance on them. Because it's all about just mobbing you. They're just using really, really stupid people to mob you. And Freemason pedophiles who exploit their own family, they use them as well. With their fake steroid-injected bodies and covered in satanic tattoos. Because they need the tattoos to give them validity. Because they're so mediocre as people. They need the group and the gang around them always to give them validity because they're so mediocre on their own, right, as individuals. And so what do we have here? Okay, looks like that person turned there. The vehicle in front of the house where I live is still there. And this is going on, what will it be, a half an hour? Yeah. They've pulled up just to park in front of the house where I live. I'd say that's a little bit odd. I'd say that's kind of suspicious, quite frankly, when you're not even getting out. And, okay, so now this one's coming up here, and then another one here. So the road here has picked up considerably since I've come down here. Again, a non-stop deluge of cars now, suddenly. And, So someone did get out of that vehicle and go into the left door there. It's not the guy who they used that other time, because he goes up the staircase on the right. That would be above where I entered, so it wasn't him. Unless he has two entrances. I think he only enters, I'm pretty sure he only enters through that, though. The guy on the top unit in the top right, I'm pretty sure. And let's just see here. Oh, it's getting kind of foggy now, the moon now. It was clearer earlier. Any more activity back here with the flood of cars? More people walking down. Yeah, it's still there. Oh, now somebody's come out to the car now to stand there. Is it the same person who... Shoot, I turned around briefly. Now he's gone out to do his stretches now, and then he can get back in and sit in the car for longer. Because who doesn't want to spend their entire night just sitting in a car all night with the lights on? Right? It's nothing at all odd or suspicious about that. Yet when you record these things, they try to make up lies to say you're suspicious for documenting what they're involved in. So it's all just inversion and foolishness. And when we get on the bus here, they're probably going to try to have that guy set up there, that drug dealer who they've sent a number of times to try to provoke. I wouldn't doubt he'll be on there. If he is, we'll just switch over, so it's not a big deal. He's usually, let's see, what time is it now? Yeah, it's about 9:18 now, so. Let's see how long it'll be before we get the police here. So, flood of cars coming now. Like I said, as I came down here, there were no vehicles at all down the street. And now it's just they're just having them drive back and forth around the block here, right? Another one pulling down here now. And on that side here, and then pulling out over there as well. So last night when I got to the train station, they had 4 Ottawa constables sitting in their cars, 4 cars. I don't know how many constables there were in total within the cars. There might have been if there's 2 in all of them, then they had 8, but I don't know if they did. And then another car coming up here just to pull up here and sit here behind me as I'm recording. This is just to, well, you know what that's there for. Okay, so the car in front. Now notice right as that car pulls out from the house, there's this here. I'm just going to go. I'll show you this. As soon as it pulls out, right away, it's on cue. And then that dumps out at the person there. So it's pulled away from the house now. And I'm going to say that was a good half an hour, whatever. Yeah, 9:19 right now. So I don't know whether that guy came back. He might have come back out of the house. I don't know if he did, but it's pulled away now. I thought this car here behind was going to just idle, but apparently not. So we're at 9:19. I guess this would be about between 9:19 and 9:30 would be around the time when I've been typically leaving lately. So okay, I'm going to go up here now and we'll just go to the stop. Bit of footage there for tonight. Just head down here and wait for the bus here. Actually, I'm going to switch this off now to save the battery. This is what you get just when you stand still. And again, it's important to note, this is why I always note when I'm going to a place like this, there's nothing here when I came down. It was completely still. It was completely silent. Since I've come over here, there hasn't been a moment when this is abated or stopped, right? And now here's on the left side here as well. So they have to have a bunch of people coming around to try to probably bring out cell phones to make it seem like you're suspicious for standing somewhere. Because you can't stand on a public sidewalk. Notice this guy here now, walking backwards. Because you're not allowed to stand on the public sidewalk. Otherwise, that's, if you stop walking, you're suspicious. Meanwhile, somebody pulls up in front of the house where I live and just sits there in a vehicle for like half an hour. That's perfectly normal. So this street, as you can see, is still just picking up. The guy down there too, told to come out, come out and do his act here. What in the heck? This is just an act. Move up here a little bit. Let's move up here. They probably got this guy to bring a cell phone to record me to make something up. So look at the amount of cars now, right? You get what I'm saying, right? Check this out. No, this is going. This is all just to interrupt my recording and all this, right? Look at this. What in the heck is this guy doing? They probably obviously just sent him the alert on the phone to come out of the house and do that. What in the heck? Okay, I was making my way up to the street, but as soon as you start moving, something else will occur. Now there was nobody here. It was completely still when I came down here initially, and there he goes down there. He climbs up this enormous snowbank just to stand there, look around, and then go back down. And then further down here, where's he going now? I thought he was going to jump into the snow and climb down onto the... Here's somebody pulling over to a U-turn here. Alright. This is just what you get when you just stand still just for, a short amount of time. So that car is also going to pull in and just... another person who's come out just to sit in the vehicle in darkness here. Let's see how this is here. Anything else coming from down there? Okay, let's make our way up here now. That was quite amusing there. Why in the heck did you notice that? No? Looks like on the jog on the icy trail there. And you notice he waves at me? There's no one else here, right? Why would he wave at me that way? That's strange. Well, that's one of the things they're told to do. The people who are involved in these things do a wave and a nod a lot of times if they know you're recording. And again, I'm not holding up a phone, I'm just recording with the cell phone now. So, he was positioned there. That's a CSIS person, obviously. As soon as I get here, he comes running through. He turns around, checks the phone, then goes running down the trail at the back here. And does that same wave and nod that they're told to do. And that trail there, it's kind of icy. Who's going to go running on that at this time of night in total darkness, right? Why would somebody be doing that? 10:04. 10:04 p.m. Okay. So my guess is, as I cross over the street here, that guy that they send out to have a smoke, I shouldn't say whenever. A lot of times when I arrive and when I leave at the same time, he'll probably go walking out there to the gate tonight, or something will occur as I cross over there. We'll see. Although sometimes when I predict those things, they'll intentionally not do it. I have my phone with me, so obviously they can hear what I'm saying there. So let's see here. I guess I'll go this way. It's just shortly after 10 now. Let's wait here. We got a person with wearing the clothing they've been told to wear with the red. You don't. When you're part of the Canadian communitarian system, you don't get to pick what clothing you put on. You just put on what the state tells you. And you do what they tell you is best for your community. So you wear the clothing that they tell you. There's no freedom there. No freedom to put on the clothing that you might want to wear as an individual. You just have to wear what the state tells you to, because you're just part of a collective mob mentality. And yeah, that was a really creepy wave and a grin that guy gave me. Why would he do that? I've never seen him in my life. And I'm just a random bystander here at the station. Why would he wave at me and nod? and go jogging off as soon as I get here. Well, because he sees this person who was told to stand there, obviously. And, oh, it's the same person going back the other way now. So first he went running down that way. Now he's turned and come back around to go this way, as you can see here. And this is the person who waved and nodded at me and giggled as soon as I arrived there. So he ran up there, basically. He ran down there, turned around and came back to run back the other way here on an icy trail in darkness. Well, down there it's not dark, but down this way there's no lights. Once you pass here, this area, there's no lights going all the way down there. So are you going to go out running on black ice when you can't even see where there's ice patches? I mean, is that something? I mean, I guess if you're really stupid, you might do that. But it doesn't seem like something natural to do. Okay, so anyway, we'll turn here. Turn and go back out here shortly. Let's see what's on that side of the street there. Alright. So we had a fair bit of stuff as I was in before I left Hull tonight. As soon as you start to move, let's go back down and check on this side here. Yeah, so that guy, he ran up that way, turned, came right back to run back the opposite direction. And let's see what we got here. I don't know how far that trail goes down that way. I've never really walked down much further than here. Or much further than that kind of underground area where you come out to the street up there. So I guess it goes pretty far. But yeah, that's something you'd always do, is you'd wave and nod at somebody who you'd never seen in your life, right? In a society that's completely low trust, that's turning more and more communistic every day, where you can't, even the people who they use don't trust each other. So that becomes more and more obvious each day. And oh, we're gonna have our transit employee go over and stand there and pretend to smoke in an area where there's a no smoking sign. Yeah, they got a car pulling up here now, looks like. At the end of the street there, yeah. Okay, well maybe what I might do is, let's just see. Yeah, maybe I'll go down there. They got a flood of people up here. Maybe I'll go down this way. I'm carrying a phone tonight too, so they'll probably have a bunch of people. Well, usually when I go down there, I'll go down that trail area at the back where that weirdo was running. But I was gonna just cross over here tonight, but let's just take a look down here. Time is 10:09 p.m. Time of the glasses should be pretty close to accurate, I think, on these ones. Might be off by a few minutes, but pretty close. So when we move down this way, right away here, I'll show you from this side here. Immediately as I start to move that way, you'll take note that there's no one really coming out here before I started to move. And so they've had a car pull up there on the opposite side of the street to sit there in darkness. Heading back over here now. So as I turn, we got knapsacks on this side and then knapsacks. You saw the knapsack running up behind there. Maybe what I might do is turn down this way and take a look from here and see if we can go any direction where there's not a swarm of people after 10 p.m. Yeah, see, that's that guy there, so he's just running back and forth continually along the trail. I'll just show you here now. Look what he's doing now. So they know I'm going to come this way. So they've told him to run, and first he ran up there, then he ran back the other direction along the trail. And then on the opposite side of the street, they got a car waiting And his attention again is just turned toward me. It's just an act. No one goes out and jogs along a darkened trail on icy pathways at this time of night, and of their own volition. That's for sure. So across here, I don't see. I can't tell if there's a car. There might be a car waiting there. So this is a provocateur here again. Nobody does this type of thing here. It's great. And then this direction here, they figured that I would go along the pathway, so he's there to run in both directions, and I guess he's going in now. I'm gonna turn over here. No, look at this one. Obviously this is just an act, a street theater act here. Okay, he's rolling around on the floor now. So they thought I might go that way, so they had him running in both directions on an icy pathway after 10 p.m. in darkness. And now he's gone over to roll around on the floor and do his street theater act over there. Do you see any constables here to ask him, are you okay? You know, the usual thing that they go up to ask me, are you okay? To recite the lines? No. Now this looks like somebody who might maybe have some, if you didn't know he was putting on an act, you might think maybe he has some mental issues, right? But you'll notice he nodded at me right away, so I'd know the whole act was, and he's just rolling around on the ground. So no constables here. Let's just take note too, above where that guy is, you can see there's cameras there, right? So obviously someone's monitoring those, they know that he's doing this. Why aren't the constables here? Why are the Ottawa constables letting this guy roll around and writhe on the ground of an otherwise pretty much empty terminal? Okay, I'm gonna go this way now. Anyway, that was a wonderful act. Now he can get up and carry on with his night. So there you go.
And just after I arrived at work, the same CSIS stalker who had been doing his little jogging act and then was writhing around on the ground acting insane, putting on his fake insane act at the station, then comes up to the window of the area where I'm working and shows up at my workplace just to put on a scene there. And of course I immediately told him he would have to leave or I would contact the police. Of course, I didn't really have any intention of contacting the police because they already knew he was sent here and they probably would have taken like 3 hours to come or not showed up at all. But again, he just came here to put on his act and followed me directly to my workplace. And so this was again just to provoke further, and also they knew that part of it, obviously I can't put that online because there are privacy issues when I'm at work, but he was sent to come up to the window, and again I have a picture of him as well, so I'm going to put a picture of him up as he came to my workplace, again to cause a scene, just acting like a fool, and I had to ask him a number of times to leave, and he eventually complied. And this is the same CSIS provocateur who nodded and waved at me right as I exited the transit terminal, and who was putting on his little fake jogging back and forth act along the trail, the area where they thought I might initially go. Then when he saw I wasn't going down the trail, he came out, continued to put on a bizarre act where he was pretended to be stretching his legs out. Then he proceeded to roll around on the ground, acting insane, like he was having some sort of convulsions. And so then subsequently, as I'm getting close, walking down to work, he comes running up behind me and moves on ahead, so he was waiting for me already as I got to work to put on another scene. That part of it I can't show you, obviously, because there are privacy concerns. With when I'm at work, I can't upload footage from when I'm at work. At some point down the road I might do that though, because I have all this footage saved on USBs, but right now I can't do it for privacy reasons. So at any rate, this is a picture of the stalker who was also sent to provoke and harass me at my workplace as well, sent by CSIS to continue their harassment campaign and sending these goofy provocateurs and drug addicts to put on street theater skits wherever I go. And this is the same stalker who was writhing around on the ground and putting on that act. And you can notice the look on his face, the smirk and the smug kind of look on his face. And you can tell he was just putting on an act there. He's not crazy. It's just a pre-planned thing where he was told to do that and just roll around on the ground and do his fake jogging act. And then run up past me and then show up to stalk me right the location where I'm working. So again, got his face and putting him out there. And I believe that this individual had also been sent on a previous occasion to walk up to me at my workplace. He looks very similar to an individual who was sent up to try to provoke on a previous occasion, which I recorded, but I couldn't put it online because of the fact that there are privacy issues when I'm at work. But again, I'm just showing the photo, the picture of the individual here. And this is the perpetrator who they had waiting right as I came out from the station. You'll notice that he nodded at me and waved before he started his fake running routine, and then subsequently did his writhing around on the ground and pretending to be convulsing and just the fake insane act. And then again, they send him to wait for me at my workplace as well. So he's a CSIS stalker, and again, we're going to just put his face out there.
Yeah, as soon as I get off the bus, police pulling out there. So, check this out here. What's the number? It's the number 91. As soon as I get off the bus, police there. So that guy who got on there at Radio Center, I noticed it right away. It's the guy who works at the store. So their plan was, I would usually get off at the next stop there. That's the closest to where I live. And they thought that I might go into that store there, which I sometimes go into. So they'd have him get off at the same stop and go into where I was going into. Let's see if he gets off there. I think that was him that got on at Radio Center. Obviously, there's more plausible deniability for that because he works there anyway, right? So, but I think that was him. Let's see if he's going. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so he didn't get off there. Okay, so I don't know. I thought it was that guy. Anyway, so the police there as soon as I get off the bus. Car number 91, I think it was. They were just sitting in the parking lot here of the motel again. This is a different motel here, or around the corner there. Just sitting there doing nothing. Pulling out to threaten and intimidate as soon as I get off the bus, so we'll get that one on Twitter and get it at the end of the video as well. So CSIS has gone back to using these fools lately because it's just to try to create plausible deniability for the thugs in Ontario. The Masonic thugs in Ontario. So they've switched over to using these psychotic criminals who do literally nothing but traffic, drugs, harass people, and stage fake events. And so they were waiting there as I got off. So, yep. I thought that was that guy. It looked like him. Maybe I was wrong. It wasn't. Might not have been him, but it looked like the guy who works here at the store getting on. So I thought, okay, they probably had him get on just so he could get off where they think I'm going to get off. That's why I got off one stop earlier there to see if he was going to go in. But it wasn't him. Or if it was him, he just stayed on. I don't know. It might have been just somebody who kind of looked like him. He's probably working here now. So we can cross here. That would be something they do, have him get off right there, and then thinking that I was going to go in there. And then there, of course, would be plausible deniability because he works there, right? So it wouldn't be that weird to have him getting off and going in. But maybe it was not him, I don't know. Well, there's police again, same car, same police car driving back around to come past me again here. So CSIS and the RCMP have gone back to using these thugs, the Gatineau police, lately. They took like maybe a month and a half off for plausible deniability, and now they're back using these goons again. So car number 91 has driven by me twice there to harass and intimidate, just literally since I got off the bus just minutes ago there. Driving back the same way, obviously doing nothing but threatening, terrorizing people. So that'll go right on X, and we'll put a picture of that drug dealer who they allowed to operate on there today as well. Because I just briefly went into the house for like maybe like 2-3 minutes, and then yeah, it looks like they either turned into the SO or they turned left from our vantage point. Yeah, it's police again here, third time police. Okay, so since I just got off the bus, I had to switch to these other glasses. I just went up to the store again, and here's the police for the third time. Continued stalking and intimidation here. We'll just see if we can see the car. The other one was 91, which showed up twice. Now they're turning that way. I can't see the car number. So that's 3 times just since I've gotten off the bus. They're basically surrounding the area to swarm around me all morning here. That's the Gatineau police again. Turning just right in front of the place where I live there, up there on the right. Where the guy's positioned on the bike, that's where, just behind there, that's where I live. So 3 times this morning. Now they're just going down that side street. They don't do anything. They literally just drive around stalking people. Look at here. Look, there's nothing going on here anyway. Well, now the traffic's picking up with CSIS cars because I'm coming down here, but there wasn't much traffic at all prior to that. So constant threatening and intimidation from them. I'm going to put it all on Twitter and put this in the video too at the end.